3-pin on the right side with a big hook and send that 3-pin over into the 7.
Tough break for Joe Salvemini, the tournament leader, open frame in the 5th.
Trails by 50, and now Scott Devers knows that with one more shot, Johnny Petraglia, it can be all over.
Well, he's got to be figuring right now that if Joe goes off the sheet, it's 230, and he's got to be having in his head one more strike and spare out, and I got a victory no matter what he does.
Good point.
Strong enough to bowl all through the night. This is 4th game, and it's hot in here.
You're right, Chris, and that's what dead stroke is known about on the Professional Bowlers Tour. It's not very often a player has the luxury of what I say a victory lap. After 5 frames, he has the match well in hand. He's in dead stroke. He has 5 frames to enjoy it. He can just slow down, take his time, and throw some strikes here because I don't think there's any way that Salvemini can come back.
Stop the string at 5. It's all right, Joe. We don't give 100,000 for. I mean, Scott, we don't give 100,000 for a perfect 300 anyway on the summer tour.
Well, you know, if he had gotten that strike, it'd have been 6 in a row. We'd have mentioned it and jinxed him, Chris. Of course.
That's right. It's like talking about no hitters, huh? Bowlers don't feel that way, as baseball players do.
As you watch the replay, the key pin's the head pin. It goes to the sideboard, mixes between the 5, 6, and 10 pins. It doesn't roll off the 6 into the 10, leaves an easy spare. And for Salvemini, it must be all strikes from here on out. Well, Johnny Petraglia, they should have watched your bowling tip of the week when you talked about the lefty not hooking the ball too much and playing the down and in shot.
Well, I think the down and in shot's working today, Bo. What's happening? It's the 4th game today. The oil's moving around. We're starting to get an overreaction for the guys that hook it, and that's what's happening to Joe right now. A little inside his mark, it hangs. A little outside of it, it's going through the nose.
So what can he do? He has to straighten the ball out, change shots. What would you do, John? You were a hook ball player.
Well, as good as Scott is bowling right now, I would try and get my feet a little bit left, increase speed, and take a little bit off the ball, trying to get close to the angle that he's playing.
And hope.
Just disbelief at the line for Joe.
Scoring pretty good today, a 216 average for the players so far. For the whole year, 23 telecasts on ABC Sports. We've had a 210.31 average in the championship round. I'd like to see that improve a little bit over the next year or so, but good action. With apparently Scott Devers in the driver's seat here, he will make it a 50-50 deal for the tournament leader this year. The tournament leader will have won just 50% of the times, as we're the 2/3 mark of the professional bowler season.
And Bo, I think you professional bowlers are getting more physically fit because we've had a lot that have been in the number 5 position to go all the way through in the finals to win.
I think it's a good point, Chris. I say it's like the Roger Bannister theory. When he broke the 4-minute mile, everybody else had to train to learn to break the 4-minute mile. And with the younger players coming on the tour, especially the last 5 or 6 years, a lot of college players, they're forcing everybody to get in top shape. The level of bowling is up on the pro tour.
Just for instance, as the split is broken up, this is the 3rd straight week a bowler has won 4 games to win. 3rd straight, wow.
Well, a part of that's the condition. When the lane condition is pretty tough, and we haven't seen any easy conditions, the player who gets loose has the advantage, that's for sure.
Oh, I think you hit it right on the nose. One of the differences between now and years ago was on lacquer, the lane just dried up. So the bowler coming on still had a good idea of where to play. With urethane, they changed so drastically, it takes some time to figure them out.
Yeah, but John, if the scoring environment was a little bit higher, you wouldn't have that problem.
Exactly right, Bo.
All right, Joe. He has a right to raise his hands. It's a personal victory, finally getting that strike coming in the 8th frame. He's really a neat guy, and look what he's done this week.
42-game format, 18 games of qualifying. Traber led the qualifying. Then Salvemini came on in the last 8 games of match play to take the lead, but he's going to finish second.
appreciative bowling crowd here at Bowl El Paso.
Scott Devers with that full grip, fingertip grip, but a nice, smooth, easy style a la Earl Anthony.
We had so many people help us in doing our scene set, the opening. Barbara Sykes of the Convention Bureau here, Bo, was so helpful, along with her associate, Joe Sierra. You know, taking you up the side of the mountain and telling you, some of the history of El Paso. And Marty Robbins, the late Marty Robbins, drove the pace car at Indy when I rode one year. It was not the year we crashed. But he loved this city, and he talked about it a lot. And his music lives on about this sprawling West Texas town.
I agree with you, Chris. It's very nice to be in El Paso. I'm sure that ABC will come back here next year with the telecast of the El Paso Open.
All right. He'll be in the 230s, Scott Devers. He's had games of 236, 223, and 236.
Possible 239 for champion Devers.
Will that get him off the Rabbit squad, Bo? Bo, will that get him off the Rabbit squad qualifying?
Yeah. That's a victory. He's free for 1 year.
Ah, yes. Kevin Shipley, PR director of the PBA, talking to Scott the victor, shooting at 238. We'll have Salvemini score for you a little bit later. We'll be back.